Hi everyone, Caroline here. Happy Sunday. It is sunny but cold here in DFW, Dallas, Texas. And our weather actually is supposed to get very, very cold. So I am just embracing all the beautiful sunlight coming through the blinds or the windows here. So if you see me just moving a little bit like that, it's because I'm trying to just get all the vitamin D. I absolutely love, love, love warm weather. I used to live in Boston, and I remember in the winters it used to be so cold, and I would always constantly get sick. And one time I happened to visit Dallas, and at the time I was single. I did not even know I would end up living in Texas. But I remember back in the day, I happened to visit a very good family friend of ours who had moved from Boston to Texas. And I remember just falling in love with Texas, mostly because of the nice warm weather, which reminds me of home. I grew up in Kenya, for those who do not know. And having lived in Boston, I used to dread every winter because it would be so, so cold. Little did I know the plans that God had for me. We're always told be intentional about what you pray for. And today being Sunday, I wanted to come on here and just encourage you. I started a challenge on based on becoming a woman of noble character, and this is actually based on Proverbs 30, 31. Proverbs 31, chapter 31, and that's in the Old Testament for those of you who do not know. And it's not about being a perfect woman, but being a woman who makes progress in life. But most importantly, yesterday was day one of the challenge, and for those who are interested, I will put out my private Facebook women, exclusive women, and nothing against you guys. And I know there are guys who watch my YouTube videos, and thank you for that. But this is a space for women that is on Facebook. It's called Flourish Her Community, and it's a space where women come together to encourage, empower, educate each other, because I know there are a lot of Facebook groups, and I'm in a lot of those different groups. But I'm inviting this to those of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel and those who will be watching this video also. If the content that I share with you resonates with you and you'd like a private community, you're most welcome. Or in Swahili, I would say karibu sana. Or in my native language, which is Kikuyu, I would say, well, can you imagine? I almost forgot my native language word for welcome. But would always say karibu, karibu, welcome. I'm not sure if that's the right word in Kikuyu. Someone help me. But would always say karibu, whenever someone would come to visit home back in the day, I would always say karibu, karibu mono, karibu mono. Meaning welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll post my link for the Flourish Her Facebook community. But today I wanted to come on here to encourage you. Yesterday was day one on the Facebook community. I shared the importance we're going to do 31 days. So I'll be coming on and sharing each day just to encourage you, just to empower you, just to let you know that you have greatness inside of you. And the moment I learned that God had placed everything inside of me to fulfill that which He's called me to do, I stopped chasing things and people and validation, looking and searching. Because in life, sometimes we search and attach our validation or our worth to career, to people, to marriages. And I shared a little bit of that on my video yesterday on YouTube. But today I want to specifically continue on day number 2 of the challenge, which is, where are my notes here? So yesterday we talked about reminding you even that your worth is far more than rubies. And this also applies to the men, because also men are the men who question if they're valuable, if they're worth. And I want you to know that God says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, but also that you are worthy. And do not attach your worth to material things or your friendships or the things you chase or the things that you have acquired. If those things are taken from you and you've attached your worth to those things, does that mean then your worth is diminished? So it's very important to know that with or without, you are worthy. But today is day number 2 of the challenge, and it is based on becoming a person who builds trust. If you are a person that leads a company or is working for a company, or you have a family or you have friends, can people in your circle of influence say that you are trustworthy, that you are dependable, that you are steadfast, that you are a man or a woman of your word? Can they vouch for you and say that you are? The places that you frequent, do they know you as a person who's always on time or a person who's always late? And don't even get me started, because we do have the African time where someone will tell you, oh, tukutane, or tukutane means it's Swahili for let's meet at 2 p.m. And they'll show up at 4. We got to do better. Let's do better this year, especially if you're African. I'm speaking to all my African people. We've got to change this thing about African time. Let's be people who keep time. And trust me, I used to be one, even when I moved from Kenya to the US, I used to be one who'd always be late. But the place that I would, oh my goodness, God had to deliver me. God truly had to deliver me, because I remember I thought I could bring my African time when I moved here to America, and I learned. When I started working, I remember you have to clock in, and the time you clock in is the time that they know that you showed up to work, right? Don't even get me started on that. But I had to pray to God, God deliver me, because I'd always be late for meetings. I would always be late to church. I would always be late for everything. And I remember assessing my life. I was like, man, I don't want to be a person who's known for being late, right? And my friends who know me now, they know if I say we're meeting at 2 p.m., I will actually show up 10 minutes before. And it really bothers me when people don't show up at the time they say they were going to show up. And this goes back to what we're talking about. Today is day 2. Being known as a person or man or a woman who is known for keeping your word, being on time, show up on time. If you're working for a company, or if you are employed or self-employed, make sure you show up on time. Do not be known as a person who's always late with so many excuses, because your excuses will only get so far until they're like, no. You may be very experienced and knowledgeable, but the way you show up late, that's not gonna cut it here, right? So let's change those kind of things where we're always late, we're always giving excuses. How about we begin this year by asking God, Lord, and the good thing I love about the Lord, He will show you. He says, come to me just as you are. If you're tired and weary of being late and not being a person who keeps their word, tell God, you know what, God, I've not been a person who's dependable. I've not been a person I've not been a person who keeps my word. And starting today, I want people to be able to count on me. When I say this is the time we're meeting, I want people to know that I will actually show up earlier, right? So I want you to be very real and honest with yourself. And this space, this YouTube page, I keep it real, I keep it raw, I keep it relevant, and it's about having real, raw conversations that encourage and empower, educate you. But most importantly, my hope and prayer is God establish those areas of your life that you want Him to establish, whether it's your relationship, your friendships, your business, your purpose, the thing that God placed you here on earth to accomplish. May this be the year where He establishes you. But most importantly, as He does that, you also have a role that you need to play in terms of, okay, God, you're working and you've shown me these areas of my life that I need to improve. So help me be a person that builds trust. Help me be a person that is confident, that lacks nothing of good value, that such that when I show up into rooms and friendships or wherever God has positioned you in this season of your life, people can say and attest that you are steadfast, that you are dependable, that you are faithful, that you are a man and woman of your word. But most importantly, we tend to please other people. I want you to even show up for yourself. When it comes to your health, your spiritual wellness, your financial wellness, your family, your relationship, how you speak to yourself matters most. How you show up for yourself matters most. Take a moment and start speaking life to yourself. Start speaking goodness over your life. Start speaking hope. Start speaking the favor of God in your life, because that is who God created you. God did not make a mistake when He created you. God did not create you to show up late. God did not create you to be a person who does not keep their word, right? So moving forward in 2025, let us change all of that, right? Number one, count your blessings. The very fact that we're here today means it's a moment or a chance for us to do better, right? So today was day number 2, Proverbs 31, verse 11. Yesterday was talking about your worth, and you can go back on my YouTube video from yesterday and watch that. So today is, be a person who builds trust, a person who's confident and people are confident in, and most importantly, that people can say you're dependable, faithful, a man and a woman of your word. And even with your kids need to know that you're dependable, right? That you are trustworthy, that they can look up to you because you're known to do what you said you're going to do. And I hope this encourages you, and I hope and pray that you step into that very thing God put you here on earth to do. And if you've been watching life from the sidelines, it's time to step into your purpose lane, because God placed greatness inside of you. There's greatness in you. He has placed you here on earth for a specific mission. And if you do not know why He's placed you here, ask Him. He will tell you. He will show you. And some of the clues are some of your life experiences are clues, especially those things that you have overcome. Those are clues to what God has actually called you to do. All right? But I pray that this has been a blessing to you. I pray you have a blessed week ahead, and we will meet tomorrow for challenge number 3. Tomorrow will be day number 3 for the 30-week challenge. That's what I meant to say. But nonetheless, let me know what your takeaway is, and what you're looking forward to learn from me. And let me know if this kind of content resonates with you. Hey, Don't keep it to yourself. We're not stingy. We share. We're generous people. And also, I will drop down on the comment section the invite or the link to Flourish Her Facebook community. Caroline Beatty Day. God bless you. Thank you so much. Bye.